people hurt.
Yeah, and I know for a fact that's what happened to the person who did it to us. Yeah.
And so I'm just like I think sometimes my heart is too big and too nice to people where I think somebody else told me that I can't for people too much. And it's like, like,
it's like you make excuses.
Yeah,
I'm
make
making excuses for somebody else, but then I do want to kind of bring it back to self, which is, how has this helped you? Like, how has this experience of being a part of this documentary and sharing and raising awareness, like, how has it helped you? Like, what do you think is done? I know it's been like 2 months?
Roughly.
Yeah, it was April.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still about 2 months now.
About 2 months.
It was, man, it felt like a weight being lifted off my shoulder because I'm constantly dealing with, and even now, like, people trying to minimize the amount of pain I experienced or what happened, like, especially being in the military and, stuff like that. And where I was at with it was, I got a lady, Caucasian lady, and she almost, like, tried to, like, dismiss what happened to me and say, like, this has nothing to do with my military career. It has nothing to do with me being in the military, that this is just something that just happened, like, just, like, on a regular weekend type thing. Wow. And that was the most painfulest thing ever. And when I was going through that, like, I remember I was just, like, crying. I was so emotional. And then I got the email from Tahir to say, like, hey, we're going to start filming. And I was like, oh, I'm about to get on that camera and show out and be like, yo, I was in uniform. You know what I'm saying? And then they told me to report it. And then I'm like, I had to think about it while I'm at work. Like, I had to take that opportunity to really, like, pretty much prove myself, to say, like, hear you saying that this is not affecting my career or this has nothing to do with my military career. And they literally put me out quietly because of that. And even though I'm not mad at that, because I needed that space to heal, and the way they did it was very nicely. It wasn't like, get out, like how I hear other stories, because I hear other stories about other veterans, and it's sad, it's heartbreaking. But the way they did it to me was almost like, we don't want to see you go, but we don't want to see you like this. We don't want you serving like this. So I appreciated that type of care and consideration. But in the same breath, I was resentful to him, because I'm like, you just ruined my career because of what you did to me. And then now, fast forward, you're making it seem like this didn't affect my career at all. Like, so it was just like, I felt like it helped me prove to myself, like, hey, this is something that happened to you, and it's okay for you to speak on it. And don't let anybody tell you how it affected you, or what it didn't have to do with, or when it happened, what it was. No, this affected your life, this affected your career, this affected something you wanted to do, and that's the end of that. Don't let nobody make you question it or minimize it or make it seem like it was something that wasn't that serious or intense, So yeah, that was for me.
We're talking about the aftermath of it all?
Yeah, how has it helped you heal? How has your healing moved since the past 2 months?
Yeah, so I definitely say his name more often, which I'm still proud of myself for, because I did, like, I guess because saying his name would be like a reminder to me, like, just being involved with him in general. So I'd be like, oh my God, don't say it. Some kids, no, we don't say that name in this house, that kind of thing. But now I'm like, no, it's okay. We can say it. We can talk about it. My children, like, they know what non-consensual sex is and all that kind of stuff. I'm very open with them anyway. But they, we talk about it. And my daughter was able to open up to me about an experience that she had or something like that with somebody else, a family member. And she was like, well, I figured if you could do it, then I could tell you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, this is excellent. The conversation is open. She feels comfortable, to come to me about things like that. But it definitely, I don't dream about it, I don't think about it as much, because there was a time a few years ago I was like, losing it. And I don't mean like